You guys are watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey here to break down the latest quarterback draft rankings from ESPN's Todd McShay. 1 to 10, plus some others to keep an eye out for. At number 1, Kenny Pickett. And I don't think there's been a single, from a quarterback perspective, bigger riser than Kenny Pickett. His stock, straight to the moon. Now, he's got good accuracy, vision, decision-making. His production has skyrocketed this year. He is a bit limited in terms of, I think, his overall physical abilities. He's not the biggest arm guy, not the most mobile, but he has enough of it to make it work in the end. He has been great this year at Pitt. To put this in perspective, the previous 3 years for the tiny hand, older quarterback Kenny Pickett, he had 38 passing touchdowns. He's got 36 with more games to go. Pickett this year is going to exceed in one season his previous career total for passing touchdowns. That is really tough to do. At number 2, Malik Willis, the quarterback out of Liberty, the former Auburn transfer. He is kind of the opposite of Pickett. Big arm, fantastic athletic ability, but the accuracy, the decision-making, the processing isn't always there, in part because of the style of offense that he runs at Liberty. Willis is your textbook high-risk, high-reward prospect. Sometimes it works. You can point to Josh Allen, for example, although Willis nowhere near as big as Josh Allen. Sometimes it does not work. There's a litany of draft busts out there as well. But he does offer the raw tools that are going to be oh so tantalizing for NFL teams. He can do it through the air and on the ground. He will need time. This is not a process that can come in and immediately be a franchise instant savior, I don't think. I think you have to be patient if you draft Malik Willis. Keep that in mind. You want to have him go to a team where he's not going to lose their job and have 2 OCs in 2 years. That's bad for him. But the upside is absolutely there for the former Auburn transfer. Far better than Bo Nix is. So how many quarterbacks are drafted in the first round? It is a down quarterback class this year, but there will probably be a gem or two. So make your predictions for me. How many QBs go in the first round this year? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Go to the pinned comment and make your predictions. Number 3, Matt Corral, who I actually like a lot, and he actually, I think, might be my QB1. We'll see. I am nowhere near done with my own evaluations. The touchdowns don't look eye-popping, but he's been better this year. He is a bit undersized. He's got a quick release, solid enough arm, tough, able to run. There is some processing issues like so many young quarterbacks, but I think Corral has the ability to be a potential franchise QB. I like the way he plays. Would he have been QB1 for me last year? Absolutely not. 2, 3, 4, 5? Probably not. That's where we're at right now with this quarterback draft class. But somebody, because of the positional need, will, I think, go fairly early, if not somebody's, in round 1. So who do you think is the best quarterback prospect in this year's NFL draft? Is it Corral, Pickett, Willis, or somebody else? Head down to the comment section and let me know. Number 4, Desmond Ridder. You know, McShay and Kiper both had him at number 4. I got to be honest, I just don't see it. His arm's pretty good. He's mobile, but he's not like Jalen Hurts mobile. He's not that level of runner. He's got mobility, but I don't think you're going to design a massive running scheme for him the same way you could with Hurts or Lamar Jackson. And the accuracy is not a strength. There are a lot of missed throws that Ridder really should be hitting, more than even, as all quarterbacks do, miss some. He will be, I believe, a great backup in the NFL. But can he be your franchise guy? I'm just not sure. He's mobile enough that I think he will be able to be a backup quarterback, which I want mobility in my backup QB. I can't have a statue anymore. That was the lesson I learned from Josh Rosen. But Ridder, QB4, it's a bit high for me. Let's go to QB5 on McShay's Big Board. Sam Howell, who actually have his QB4-ish right now. Tough quarterback, offers mobility in many ways, including, frankly, looks to an extent. It reminds me of Baker Mayfield's prospect. Undersized, stocky build, solid arm, able to make some plays out of structure. Wasn't as good this year as a passer, although to be fair, he is down his top 2 receivers and his top 2 backs. Baker balled out after that happened. Not so much for Sam Howell. He's been very effective on the ground this year. 700 yards rushing. That's pretty damned impressive for Sam Howell. The touchdowns look good. The yards per attempt have dipped. The completion has dipped as well. So his stock has dropped a little bit. I think people are hoping for a bit of a bigger rise in terms of, lose key players, step up as a result. Hasn't quite been the case yet for Howell, but he's a good football player. Today's show is powered by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. You can get a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100 at chatsports.com/bet while using promo code NFL Daily. You got to put at least 100, otherwise the deal won't go through. You won't get the right deposit bonus. And this way, in case you get some bets wrong, like I did, you got plenty of money left over. And they will have draft prop bets, by the way, which I like him quite a bit overall. I like those prop bets quite a bit in terms of making some money, being able to gamble, and make a nice little return on your investment. I think last year I was up like 200% on all the different prop bets they had out there. It was a good time to be gambling. In fact, they have a prop bet right now. Who ends up being the first quarterback drafted, or first player drafted in the NFL draft? Preseason was Spencer Rattler. Not even on this list. Currently, it's actually Kayvon Thibodeau right now sits as the number 1 option. So you can bet on that, prop bets, NFL games, college football, and so much more when you head over to chatsports.com/bet and you use promo code NFL Daily. Again, that's promo code NFL Daily at chatsports.com/bet. Next up is Carson Strong, who QB6 is probably correct-ish for him. Kiper had him as quarterback 8, which I don't like. That's way too low. Big-armed quarterback. Classic pocket passer. 2 big red flags. Does he have enough mobility to survive? I don't know. How is the medical on that knee? That is a red flag for teams right now. If you want a mobile quarterback who can run, this is not your guy. If you have a team that can protect your quarterback, stand in there, make some throws, Strong can be that guy. My concern here is, and this has been my takeaway in recent draft classes, if you don't have the mobility to survive, regardless of how good your numbers look like at college, if you don't have the top tier mobility, it makes life tougher on you because you just don't process fast because you're young, you're a rookie quarterback, it takes time, and you might not get there in time. That was happening with Deshaun Watson. He was not a quick processor early on, but the more he played and allowed his legs to be used to buy him time, he got better as a processor and got better as a pure quarterback. I think it's similar for Dak Prescott. Josh Allen as well. Strong doesn't have that mobility, I don't believe, to lean on. So it makes him a bit of a tricky eval. He's got to go to the right spot. If you guys want more NFL draft videos, have you come to the right spot. I want to do more of these all season long. And if that's what you want, subscribe right now. Let my bosses know that you want more NFL draft coverage. From Phil Jurkovec, or should I say to Phil Jurkovec here, number 7. Missed time with a wrist injury. His numbers have not been great this year. Big arm, big frame, got some mobility as well. I think he needs to go back to school. He is a bit of a super prospect because of that injury right now, but both Kiper and McShay had him fairly high there. I like Jurkovec. I want to see him go back to school for one more year, get healthy, play better, and maybe shoot yourself up the draft board a little bit there. The arm talent, the size, it's all mostly there, but he needs a lot more polish in the end. Now, be honest with me in the comment section. Does your team need a quarterback this year? It's not a great year to need one. A lot of these guys are really more day 2, day 3 prospects at best. Not a great time to need a quarterback. But do you need one? Y for yes, and for no. Number 8, Bailey Zappe. First off, what a name. What a story, too. Transfer from Houston Baptist. And his production, which was off the wall at the FCS school, hasn't dipped in the air raid offense for WKU. Strong arm and this production. 71.7%, 4,640 yards, 48 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The dings on Zappe, small school. It's a bit of an inflated production in the offense. But somebody should probably draft this kid. Number 9, Jayden Daniels. He got to go back. He should not turn pro. He's very skinny. Listed 185. I know he's listed 185. I think he's bulked up a little bit here. He's higher than 185. That's listed size. Has some raw tools. He can run. Strong arm. His first 2 years, the completion percentage was not great, but the TD-interception ratio was. This year it's been flipped. 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions through the air. That's not it. You can't draft that guy. He has to go back to school and have another year of growth and development. I know the traits are there. I get that. There's a bit of intrigue. 9 is way too high for Daniels right now. Yeah, I get the upsides there, but he's got to find a way to be a more consistent passer if they're really going to have a long NFL career in front of him. I think that's just too high right now. Now, if you have an NFL draft sleeper at quarterback, drop their name for me in the comments section. There's one guy we'll get to here in a little bit that I like, but I want to hear from you. So name that QB, if you have one, in the comments. Jake Heiner checks in at number 10. The former Washington quarterback, now at Fresno State. Breakout year for the Bulldogs. Solid arm, a bit undersized. The processing is not there. And you see it at points. The Hawaii game, I think, he makes some bad decisions. Now, I like a little bit of Heiner. I think he's probably more of a typical day 3 gamble guy as opposed to an early round 1 prospect. But look, it's not a great quarterback class. It only takes one team to fall in love with you and get you to go earlier than what other people think. All right, 5 more. And I got 2 names like here as sleepers. Brennan Armstrong from Virginia. Caleb Ellaby from Western Michigan. Small school product. He can throw the ball, though. He is not really on anyone's radar, but I am highly intrigued by him. I like Hendon Hooker as well. Grayson McCall, I don't know if he's going to come out. And Sam Hartman, I know some people like him, but I'm not quite sold on him. Those are some other names to monitor, and otherwise, pretty poor quarterback draft class.